On the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Hello, friends. This is Alex Jones. You've heard me talk about Cal-Ben 5-star soaps for years. This is an American-made product of the highest quality and compares to nothing you will find in stores. You can buy factory direct, shipped via UPS right to your door. Check them out on the web at 5starsoap.com or call 800-340-7091. Take my word for it. Once you've used pure soap, you won't buy anything else. Since 1947, Cal-Ben Soap Company has been showing consumers that soap can be tough on dirt and gentle on the environment. Buy American and stay clean, as well as support InfoWars. Visit 5starsoap.com today or call 1-800-340-7091. Well, Marty, what do you have to say?
As founder and owner for over 63 years, satisfaction is guaranteed or double your dirt back. Call us at 1-800-340-7091 for a free catalog or visit our website, 5starsoap.com. Thank you.
This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now, new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365. Listen up, friends. This is Alex Jones with key information. The mainstream media is now admitting that we're going into a depression. Don't be dependent on the government for you and your family. You need to get your own supply of high-quality storable foods from efoodsdirect.com. They're the best company out there, the longest continually operating, with a ton of great food to choose from. It's all fresh, made on a monthly basis, not some old cruddy food they're selling you like some of the other guys. Try their new evacuation pack, a 2-week supply of delicious, easy-to-fix food. It comes with all the equipment you need to prepare it. With open talk of a strike on Iran in the next 3 months, the crisis in the Gulf, and possible evacuations, get yourself and your family ready today. The place to go is efoodsdirect.com. Go to their website online right now, efoodsdirect.com/Alex, or call 800-409-5633. Again, on the web, efoodsdirect.com/Alex, or give them a call at 800-409-5633. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go back to Lord Christopher Monckton in just a moment of scienceandpublicpolicy.org, an essential site. Do you understand that the globalists, the one-worlders, openly want world government? They have put their entire investment in global domination through this pseudo-religion. The UN admits it. They're a bunch of atheists. But they say people need a religion. It's going to be of the earth. We're going to dictate everything. We're going to decide if you can have a factory, have a plant, have a job. The West has to make all the cuts. India and China and Mexico and 160 other countries, 0 cuts. They've just got to go along with it. But the third world itself is to have its resources cut off that will cause massive death and degradation. We cover all of this in my seminal documentary, Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement, available on DVD at Infowars.com. Show it to everyone you know. Make copies of it. Air it on Access Television. Give it to your local county commissioners and city council. And one other special we're running, if you get the Obama Deception, the seminal film that shatters the left-right paradigm, that shows how both parties are being controlled, that shows what the mega banks are doing, financing the carbon taxes, all of it is covered in this film, The Obama Deception. You get free, $24.95 value. Jesse Ventura with Dick Russell, American Conspiracies, $24.95 hardcover book. but only while supplies last. This should probably go another week and a half or so. We're going to be sold out of this, and we're not going to be offering it anymore. We'll be offering the book at the regular price. But when we have to reorder, it's going to go up. So get the Obama Deception and get a $24.95 book free after you read it. It makes a great gift to give your friends and your family. Infowars.com. You can also support our broadcast by becoming a prisonplanet.tv member. All 26 of my films, many other documentaries like United We Fall about the North American Union, Camp FEMA, Don't Tread on Me. It's all there. So many other great films we've been authorized to post. My book, Paul Watson's book, that are both out of print. The live simulcast of this 3-hour radio show every day live at prisonplanet.tv in living color. And, of course, it's all archived there and a higher quality bit rate, commercial-free podcast. It's all at prisonplanet.tv. And we couldn't have done any of this without you and all these guests and all these informative lovers of liberty and truth that we're able to bring on the show and give a wider platform. Now, Lord Monckton, I'm not trying to pour gravy over you, but you really do deserve it. And you're a model of stick-to-itness for more than a decade, in their face, being criticized, being attacked, them calling for your arrest in major newspapers as a climate denier, and everything confirmed. And now you're at the most prestigious scientific forums in the world, and they're agreeing with you. You're meeting with the top science advisor to the Chinese government, waking them up. I mean, the point is, when we do take the field against oppression and tyranny and lies and neo-serfdom, we are able to defeat it. And just your spirit of resistance is a great example to us all. So I want to thank you for my family and for my listeners for your tireless efforts. I know you crisscross the planet at your own expense fighting these people.
Well, that's very, very kind of you. Not a word of that is really deserved, but it's much appreciated nonetheless. And the thing is that you may remember that a few months ago you were talking about how I get attacked a lot. Yes, they're at this all the time now. They've realized I'm dangerous to them. And so they're now trying to take me apart, first of all, personally, and endless, rather poisonous accusations being made. And now, at last, they're beginning to say, well, let's see if we can attack him scientifically. Do you remember that shrimp-like character, Professor Abraham from Minnesota?
Yes.
Who spent 8 months preparing an 83-minute diatribe, calling me everything from a fraud to a trickster to somebody who made up data, who fabricated data, who misrepresented scientists' work, etc., etc. Over and over again, he libeled me. Well, this insignificant character, wholly unworthy to be even the minor associate professor that he is in a two-bit Catholic Bible college in Minnesota, he has now had to back off completely because I produced an 84-page letter refuting every lie that he had put out in his horrible broadcast. And you can still get his horrible broadcast published by this two-bit, three-legged, four-eyed, five-a-side, six-and-sevens, eight-rate Bible college on its servers. But nobody now takes it seriously. He and the Bible College and the president of the Bible College, a creepy individual who failed to investigate this matter when he was asked to do so, not only by me, but also by many of your own listeners. They have now had to back off into a corner and accept that nobody now takes them seriously as an academic institution at all. Parents are saying to their children, don't go to that Bible college, St. Thomas Bible College in Minnesota. It's not a fit place for people to get a proper education. You will be taught by liars, frauds, and cheats. So they have now backed off into a corner. They're licking their wounds. They're waiting imminently for the libel writ from me, which will finally put them and their associate professor out of business. But they have now really had to accept that he lied. They've had to accept that he lied repeatedly. They've had to accept that he and they had a fair chance to have this put right, and they failed to do so when I gave them the chance to do so privately. So now they're treated to gales of laughter all around the world as people read this very detailed, point-by-point, scientific refutation that I have given of this so-called joke professors, this cardboard professors, this prawn-like professors' ridiculous attempt at a scientific attack on me. The guy isn't even a climate scientist. He's a professor of heat transfer or some such thing.
Well, he's not being invited, which they never do. I mean, he's not being invited like you to the World Federation of Scientists. Now expanding on this, though, what are their counterstrikes? Because they're still going forward with their climate cult. They're still brainwashing the children in public and private schools worldwide. They're still going ahead. The EPA says they're implementing the carbon taxes by hook or by crook. How are they counterstriking? And B, how do we defeat them?
Right. I think what is happening is that the Republican Party, which as recently as 2 years ago was saying to me, well, of course, we can't argue with them on the science, but on the economics, what they say makes no sense. They have now realized that the science is wrong. I have testified several times in front of Congress. Many other researchers and scientists who are skeptical of the extremists' claims have also testified there, and it has become quite apparent that the Democrats simply want to believe in this global warming stuff, not because it's true, but because it's politically expedient and financially profitable. That's what it's all about. They don't care what the scientific truth is, but the Republicans now do. They are now looking very, very hard at the science. And here, if the IPCC and railroad engineer Pachauri, its chairman, is listening, is what's going to happen next. At the midterm elections in November, and it's not for me to tell you which way to vote, but you know what I'm thinking, it is very likely that the Republicans are going to recapture the House, and they will come closer to recapturing the Senate, though my guess is they won't quite make that. Now, when they do recapture the House, there will no longer be any serious opposition to the idea that cap and trade is dead. And the Senate won't pass a cap-and-trade bill, the House won't pass one. That is not going to happen. What will happen instead is that the Murkowski resolution in the Senate that would have extinguished the EPA's right to trample around issuing huge taxes in the name of saving the planet, that will be brought forward again. This time it will carry, and then, of course, it can still be vetoed by the president, but then let him veto it, and let him veto it over and over and over again. That's what they're going to do, because every time he personally vetoes it, then he is making the EPA's actions his own, and the electorate will not thank him for it. Those candidates who have spoken out so far in the election, in the primaries, against this global warming nonsense have done far better than the true believers who pretend to go on believing it. So gradually the politicians are saying, we're not playing. Now, if America doesn't play, if America doesn't go for cap and tax, and it's now looking clearer that it won't, subject only to the Democrats trying to do something cheesy during the lame duck session, the kind of thing that Senator Kerry has already been saying they're going to try to do. Well, they may try to do that, but if they do, once again, the electorate will take note. And Obama will find that when he faces election again in another 2 years' time, he will be out on his ear big time if the U.S. Democrats try to play that kind of game during the lame duck session, force legislation through on the votes of senators and congressmen who have already lost their seats and therefore have nothing to lose by creating maximal damage to the nation they had sworn an oath to serve. That's what they'll try to do. But they will be forestalled. If they're not forestalled, that's the end of Obama's chance of re-election. If they are forestalled, that's the end of the process of trying to get a world government in place.
But it's up to individuals at their counties, cities, and states to rout these people out, because even though it's been exposed internationally, nationally by yourself and others, and even though more and more of their program is in trouble, they are accelerating it in a sneaky way at the local level with their brainwashing, their local carbon taxes, environmental taxes, and that's up to all of us individually to go to the school boards, to go to the city council meetings, and to present all of the admissions now that this is a fraud, and all of the admissions that it'll cause massive third world starvation and death, and explain that this is really a eugenics move for world population reduction. And Lord Monckton, I want to get to that, but first I wanted to play a video clip from a few years ago, put out by Greenpeace, financed by these big foundations, because now they're issuing more videos like this. And Bill Gates, who's funding global warming propaganda, is saying, yes, we're going to have death panels, get rid of grandma so that we can hire 10 teachers. So we're more and more seeing that the eugenics crowd, the euthanasia crowd, the environmental crowd, this is all one big group. And I wanted to get your statement on the fact that the New York Times is now coming out